Have you ever been told that you will never amount to anything? That's what my guest was told. This is Now Tell Us. I'm your host, Anthony Morore. Our guest today is known as Jonathan Rivera, and he's going to be here shortly. His teachers told him, "You will never amount to anything." But he's got a life story to tell us that is inspiring. And so stay tuned here. Please share this episode with all your friends. If you have a question, ask. If you have a comment, we appreciate feedback, so make it. And join me as Jonathan is going to talk to us today about living a life of purpose and fulfillment. And I won't take one more minute because we need Jonathan here sooner than later. We want to know what's all that about. So join me as we go to meet Jonathan. Here we go. Hi, Jonathan.
What's happening? Thank you for
Yeah,
having me on the show. I'm stoked to be here with you.
it's an honor to have you here on Now Tell Us.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to tell you whatever you want to know.
We want to hear everything that you can tell us.
Just the good stuff. Just the good stuff.
Yeah, let's start by knowing where in the world are you placed?
I am in the land of Mickey Mouse down in Orlando, Florida.
That's beautiful. I used to love Mickey Mouse when I was growing up. It
You and
doesn't
me both.
it doesn't mean that I hate him now. and,
Nice.
and I actually love the story of the creator of Mickey Mouse. It's quite an inspiring story.
Oh yeah, the Disney biography is one of my favorite books. The ups, the downs, never giving up,
Hmm.
and he was an innovator. I didn't even realize how far ahead of his time he was with animation and all that. And it's no wonder it's a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, that's quite an inspiring journey that he took. Isn't it good when we have people that we can learn from, that we can get inspiration from? And that was one of the greatest inspirational stories ever written. But then he's gone. Now we have Jonathan with us here.
Well, I don't know if I'll be as inspiring as Disney, but I trust. I mean, you've done what, nearly 200 shows, so I trust that you will get the very best from me for our listeners. So I'm here. I'm an open book, and I'm ready.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, were you born there, or did you find yourself there mysteriously?
No, we were. I was born in New York and raised in Brooklyn, and I don't know, 30. Is it 30 years ago? 30 plus years ago, my parents moved us down here when I was still in high school to get out
Mhm.
of the urban jungle and put us into a nicer place. And I'm super grateful they did that because if they didn't, I might not be sitting here with you today.
Yeah, we never can determine where life is going to lead us, but we can determine where we're going to end up. So, and it's good to appreciate where we are at. And it's good that you do that today.
Yes, sir. Gratitude. We live by gratitude every day. What are we grateful for? Thank God for all the good that He bestows upon us.
Yeah, and there's always something to be thankful for. Now, we started by asking people whether they've been told that they will never amount to anything. And that's your story. Please tell us, how did that, where was this, and what led to that? You being told that you'll never amount to anything.
I think I was a pretty bad student in school. And I'm not going to blame it on my parents. I'm just going to say that my parents were so busy working that they didn't really care about what I was doing in school because they were too busy trying to put a roof over our head, clothes on our back, food in our belly. And so
Mm,
school wasn't that important in my family. And because of that, because they weren't involved, I was really bad. I was really bad. I got kicked out of Catholic school. in fifth grade. And I got suspended all the time in middle school. By senior year, I got in so much trouble that I didn't even graduate. I had to come back and finish school to get my diploma. But um, it's no wonder that my teachers thought that I wouldn't amount to much because I had a poor attitude. I was not a team player, and I didn't show any signs of any any signs of caring at all. And so it's not a surprise that they would have said that to me. And I was okay with it because I didn't really care what they thought. So it didn't matter.
Yeah, I can imagine that time when, and the teachers would look at you and say all kind of things they would want to say, and some of us think those words that they want us to be, and we end up being what they prophesied on us. But then we've got a choice to make life the best that it can ever be. Now, fast forward. Where do you stand right now? What is it that you do in life, and how far have you come?
Well, you're catching me at a very interesting time where I'm running a new test on lifestyle because I've been chasing a certain lifestyle for many, many years now. And I've built several companies. I've gotten my hands dirty and doing this. And I had to ask myself more recently, what am I doing this for?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is this? Because I can remember, man, I can think back to uh, 7 years ago, I think it was 5, 7 years ago, where I would write in my journal because I do gratitude every day, and it's what helps motivate me through the days. And I remember back then writing like, "Oh, today's the greatest day. Today's the greatest day in the world." Like I would say that, like today's the best day of my life, and it was simple: a little bit of work, hanging out with my family, some time in faith, and then I lost sight of that for a while because I got obsessed, like most of us entrepreneurs do. Is like, got to grow the company. Got to make more money, got to get more clients, got to keep chasing, chasing, chasing. And in nature, if you study nature, you don't even have to study nature. You could just watch nature documentaries. But
Mm-hmm.
when something is being chased, it runs. It's quite simple. Right. So I've been chasing this success and this money for all these years. And in the last year, I started working with a new friend, a new mentor, and he really gave me a perspective shift. And it was like, why not now? Why can't I live that life now? When I looked at it, I was making half or a third of the money back then, and I was having those great days. So why can't I have that today when we're making so much more money? And it's that eternal chase, that strife, that always looking for the next thing that can wear you down. And so in this particular season of my life right now, I'm doing something that I learned from my man Mark Acosta Rubio of flipping the pyramid. So a lot of us put money at the top, money, power at the
Mm-hmm.
top of the pyramid. And what we have done is flip the pyramid so that I'm spending my time in faith, fitness, family, and then I give the leftovers to work. So I'm no longer chasing the dollar, chasing the clients. Instead, I'm chasing my perfect day every day. And I don't need more money for that. That's what I realized. I don't need more clients for that. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm happier than ever because I'm so relaxed, but I'm also scared as hell because I've never done this before.
And we are scared of the first time that we do something when we are in a territory that we've not ventured into before. So I feel you. We kind of get the position that you are right now. But it's quite an interesting perspective that you bring here, such that when you had less, you had more joy, you had more time to yourself. When you had more, you realize that you're losing some peace. You don't have all the valuable things in life. Yeah, yeah.
It depends on what you value, right? And so if I'm saying that I value my fitness and I value my faith and I value my family, how am I living that? And I don't believe that I was living that. So I was incongruent. So it's no wonder I can't get ahead or get further or anything because I'm not living who I say I am. And
Mm-hmm.
so now It's scary, like I said, but I pray on this, man. I pray on this daily, and I ask God, what do you want me to do? What are you trying to teach me? What am I supposed to learn? Light the path for me, and I will walk it. And the thing that He keeps telling me, the Holy Spirit is telling me, take it easy, man.
Hmm.
Relax, right? You've done this, you got what you want right in front of you. Do you appreciate it? And what I'm noticing is since I backed off of the chasing clients and chasing money and all that stuff, I have more peace. My health is better than it's ever been. The relationship with my family is off the charts, and I'm still making decent money. And what's happening now is I'm starting to see the world differently, and like I don't want to go after one client.
Hmm.
And that bugs my team. They're like, "Oh, you got to chase clients." I don't want to chase anything. I want deals to come to me that would make a big difference in the world because my purpose is quite simply the right words from the right person at the right time can change a life. That's what we do. That's my work at the podcast factory. How can I change more lives? It's not by chasing one client and another client, helping them. It's about finding the people that I can partner with and making a big change, a big splash, something that really makes a difference. And so the only reason I'm able to see that now is because I backed off of that chase, allowed myself to be whole with what I have, and then see the opportunities coming my way. So I'm no longer chasing.
Hmm. That's interesting. Now, to the listener who's listening to us or watching us, they're kind of maybe in a position that they are feeling insecure or they are lacking some things and they are chasing things. Can you give us ideas on how to achieve your position, your situation, your perspective right now?
Yeah. Here, here's going to be number one. I had this discussion with my friend. I have a guy on the team in Nigeria, right? We were joking yesterday. Are you a prince? Do you have $1 million for me? Do I need to send you my social? But look, this kid lives in Nigeria. He
Mm,
works on my team as a writer. That means he's done a lot of work to be able to get to this level.
mhm,
And when I asked him how much he needed to make to live comfortably, his answer was strange. Well, I don't like to compare myself to anybody here in Nigeria because it's like $900 whatever 900 to $1 in,
mm,
in currency exchange. He's like,
mm,
so I got to look at the other people. So he's looking out there at the other people, and I told him, bro, those other people, you don't know their situation, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know their overhead, you don't know anything about them. How could you compare yourself to them? All
mhm,
you're going to do is be miserable. So the only person you need to compare yourself to is you. Who were you yesterday, last month, last year, 10 years ago? Are you further along? Yes. Then
mm,
quit comparing to others. And that's what I would say to our listeners. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. Only compare yourself to yourself, where you came from, and where you're going. Because if not, you will be miserable. And here is it's going to sound simple. You're likely going to ignore this, but that's going to be your downfall if you ignore this. The person that you have to be working on is yourself, how you love yourself, how you care for yourself, what's important to you. Because once you work on yourself and build your self-esteem up, none of those people, none of that out there will ever affect you. And then you can truly love other people when you love yourself. And so I say start working on yourself and only compare to yourself.
mm. And I get that from where it's coming from. Being a person of faith, as we are encouraged to love others as we love ourselves. Now, there's this thing that people miss. It starts with you. And this is what you've just expressed.
Dude, listen to that though, right?
Yeah.
Listen to what you just said because now that you've said that, it made me think. Love others as you love yourself. But if you don't love yourself and you're always doubting yourself and you're always putting yourself down, then you're going to love others just like that
Yeah,
with
exactly.
lack.
Exactly.
You have to really love yourself abundantly and
Mm-hmm.
meaning it. And I'm not just it's not an ego thing. It's like, man, God created me. I'm special. I have a purpose. I have something to give. And when you feel that, you can give that love and it radiates off of you.
Mm, yeah, sure. Wow. So, to the listener, the first thing is don't compare yourself to others. Love yourself, appreciate yourself, value yourself. That's the only way that you can grow yourself. And when you appreciate yourself and love yourself, then you're able to love others.
Mm,
So, thank you very
beautiful.
much, Jonathan.
You didn't expect that, did you?
We didn't expect that. So that's one the foremost thing that Jonathan shares with us about living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Second one, go ahead.
So you want more? I
We
mean, I
want
think
more. We want
no,
more.
I mean, I
This is
think
not
that's where it starts. I think the other piece is, and when we talk about comparing ourselves, the only way you can compare yourself to yourself is to keep some kind of log. And so if you're out there and you're not at least journaling, tracking your thoughts, tracking what you're thinking, writing daily, then you're not going to know who you were. For me right now, I can go to my office and of one particular the journal that I use right now, um, I have about 5 years worth of that journal. So I
mm-hmm,
can see my thoughts in the last 5 years, ups, downs, all the seasons of my life, what I was doing, what was working, what wasn't working, what I needed to change so that I have somewhere to compare to. And I
mm-hmm,
think that's one of the most important things any of us can do. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm being a hypocrite because during this time where I flipped the pyramid, I also put the journal aside to just live, right? But I have it marked down. Hey, this is the work I'm doing, and the only thing that matters this quarter is this, this, and this. Even if I don't write it, I can check back on that. So there is a log there. But if you're not tracking your life, tracking your progress, tracking your thoughts, then how do you know that you've made progress?
mm. Track your journey. Track your journey.
You got that right.
So, does this mean that you've stopped writing your gratitude journal on a daily basis like you used to?
Yeah, I'm not writing it, but we practice it every day.
Yeah,
And
you
so
practice it.
I've
Oh,
been practicing, to
yeah.
be clear, I've been practicing gratitude since 2010 when a mentor put me on the idea of a gratitude journal.
Okay.
This has been quite a few years, so it's already part of my life. A lot of this is in there. And we practice this with our son. What are you grateful for at night? What was his favorite part of today? Throughout the day, my wife doing laundry, cook a meal. Oh, honey, thank you for taking care of us. So being grateful. So it's built into who I am is about being grateful. I like writing it, but it's already at this point a part of my DNA. So it's natural for me to be grateful. Even when we started this, I'm like, thank you for letting me be on the show with you, right? I
Yeah.
am living a life of being grateful. And what that does, and this is another thing when we're talking about that inner turmoil, that inner anxiety that
Mm,
people have, a lot of that comes from looking outward. There's something I don't have.
mm,
There's something I don't have. There's something I don't have. Oh, I need all this stuff. I'm so stressed. You can flip that around by doing gratitude. Well, here's something I have. I got a nice coffee, right? I get
mm,
time to hang out with Anthony. I'm at my office 3 blocks from my house. How awesome is that? So I think that if you're looking at changing your life, gratitude lets you focus on the things that you appreciate and that you want more of. And somehow, magically, when you start focusing on the things that you have and you want more of in your life already, you start getting more of that.
mm,
And it's
mhm.
a weird cycle. I don't know how to explain it, but I know that that's what we were built for.
They say what you focus on magnifies.
Yeah, right. So if you're going to focus on problems, they're going to be
Yeah.
huge, right? Yeah.
So I have this problem, this thing is happening, then I don't
Yeah.
like, and that's what is going to magnify.
Right.
Now, I
Exactly.
was going to ask you a question, but you already touched on it now, but I'm still going to ask this question. When you were writing your gratitude journal, what was the best time of the day? Now you practice it. So you're going to tell us, did you choose to do it in the morning? Do you do it in the evening or during the day?
Yeah, so my practice, and I'm not saying that I just quit, but like I said, I'm on a little experiment right now, just checking things out.
Mm-hmm.
But gratitude for me comes in the morning. Like my morning routine is I get up, I do a rosary, and I read the word for 20 minutes. I read the Bible, I read some Stoicism and that kind of thing to uplift me. And inside of my rosary, inside of my prayer, I'm thanking God for things like,
Mm-hmm.
man, thank you for this day. Thank you for the sleep. Thank you for my health, all of that. So that's already built in. When I get to my day, like I'm going to do work and do the journal, gratitude is first thing I do is 3 things I'm grateful for. And I
Mm-hmm.
start the day with that. And then when I'm done with my day and I'm doing my daily review, I say, all right, well, this worked, this didn't, good day. What are three more things you're grateful for today? So I bookend my day, beginning and end, with gratitude so that it really is a part of everything I do.
Yeah, so that was writing and something that you're giving an experiment right now. And it's good now that you tell us you practice it. So you confess that you were grateful at the beginning of this show. So writing is one thing, practicing is another. So to all the listeners out there, you better decide to practice what it is that you believe in, not just say it or write it down. Practice it.
Yeah,
So I'm
it
with
has
you
to
with
be.
your experiment. You've not you're not continuously writing, but you're continuously practicing. That's good. I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love
Thank you.
that. Yeah. So tell us that another thing. This is now tell us. Let's keep hearing from you. Now tell us.
I think the gratitude thing is the other piece, not comparing yourself. And I would jump on your bandwagon because it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to be it.
Mm,
And so actually practicing is what turns knowledge into wisdom, right?
mm-hmm.
That's because, I mean, we can read the Bible all day long. So
Yeah.
what? You can memorize every verse in there. So what? God wants us to do the work. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like that in every piece of our life is we read to learn, we think about what we learned, and then we put it into action. That's called gaining wisdom. And you cannot have wisdom without doing the work. And that starts with, like we said, loving yourself, doing the journal, practicing gratitude, letting people know you're grateful, and letting that radiate off of you as a part of your being, as a part of your being, and a part of your doing as well.
Being, doing, yeah, and believe, do, be. Now, I saw something interesting on your profile. The law of borrowed belief. What's that?
Man, it it's inevitable, especially if you are trying something different, if you're trying to excel, that you're going to hit a wall.
Mm,
You're going to hit a brick wall. It's going to get you down. You're going to get stuck in self doubt, self pity, wonder if you're supposed to be doing things. And this is in business and sports and anything.
mm-hmm.
You go, you try something new, you hit a wall, and you start that despair of, did I make the right move? Should I be doing this? What was I thinking? And that happens to all of us.
Mm,
You, friends, are not alone. Happens to me all the time. Happened to me this week, where I started saying, is this experiment silly? Should I not be doing this? Should I be chasing clients? I had to ask myself. And fortunately for me, I've got good people around me who encourage me,
mm,
who say good things. And this has happened over and over in my life. Sometimes I don't believe in myself. Sometimes I doubt myself. Sometimes I'm questioning everything I'm doing. And if got the right people around me, I can lean on them because they believe in me. They tell me, yes, you can do that. Why not you? Yes, make it happen. And I borrow their belief in me, I install it in my heart temporarily and say, okay, well, I believe in myself right now to get me through those plateaus. And I've been doing this for years, whether it's in masterminds, whether it's my wife, even my son has encouraged me before. But
mm,
borrowing somebody else's belief when you don't have your own is a crutch to get to that next level. And then it becomes your belief when you look back and say, when you look back at your journal from a week ago and say, hey, I overcame that, right? So track it and watch it work.
mm. That's good. So borrowed belief. And then this reminds me when you say this. It reminds me of how and why it is important for you to be careful with whom you connect with, because you could also, as I'm getting this from you right now, you could also borrow fear. You could borrow all kinds of negative things by
Yeah.
the people you are connected with.
So good. Like that's such I mean, that is a great observation for our listeners because that goes back to the people that you surround yourself. Jim Rohn, famous speaker, said you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're spending time with those people who drag you down, you can never be better than that. And it's
Mm,
all right. Listen, I get it, right? Because like I have those people in my family or old friends and all that stuff. It's not saying that you can't spend some time with them. You just have to fortify your mind against their thought processes, and you have to be aware of that.
Mm,
And it's just a way of protecting yourself, right? Because what did we talk about? We talked about you want to be happier, you got to love yourself. So part of loving yourself is protecting your headspace from messages that are incongruent with who you want to be or where you're going. And so that is an exercise that you're going to have to practice your entire life, is always looking at the people around you and up leveling, right? It's up leveling. It's
mhm.
just, hey, if we work together in construction,
Yeah.
but now I'm running the podcast factory, we probably don't have much in common these days. I'm not saying that that's bad or good that you're still doing that. I'm just saying I need to get around different thinking so that I can continue growing. And it's just a piece of the growth puzzle, that you get around better thinking, you let that in, you let the old programming and all that bad stuff out, and then you block it from coming back in. That's how you start living with purpose and fulfillment, is knowing what you want and not letting anything get in your way.
Mm. Wow, this is beautiful. And we love what you're sharing with us. You've got quite some wisdom, and we can see you're a kind person because you are not
Thank you.
holding it back from us.
This
Now,
is what I do.
I know you're not chasing people, but then there are people interested in following up with you. Hey, I'd like to hear more of what Jonathan Rivera is sharing with us. How can they do that?
Yeah, so you can find me on any social platform at Rivera Thin, RiveratHan. That's
Mm,
the social platforms. I will tell you that I've taken a little break. My team's posting videos and all that stuff, but I'm not really on there. The best thing that I would say is, if you're looking to up level the people you surround yourself with, and it's okay, look, the people at church, the people at school, the people at work might not think the way that you need to think to get to the next level. So
mhm.
how do you get those people in your environment? Well, you go to the podcastfactory.com, you go to client showcase, and you're going to be showered with 90 or 100 different shows that are uplifting, that are positive, that are here to change your perspective, make you a better person. That's that's the one thing. Now, if you're a person who has a message, a mission, a business you want to grow, the podcastfactory.com/call, and we can wrap, and I can tell you how this podcast thing could help you get your message out there and help you connect with more people and change more lives.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, everybody who's listening, if you want to follow up with Jonathan and hear much of what he shared with us here, not only from himself, but from other people that are in the podcasts, go to the podcastfactory.com.
That's right. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, we are almost coming to the end of this episode, but before we go, we would like you to leave us with a few words that we should always remember. You've shared quite many, but now give us your best.
Yeah, talk less, listen more. Talk less, listen more. That's what I tell my kid. Talk less, listen more. God gave us two ears, one mouth, so that we can listen twice as hard as we talk. And what you're going to find is, when you learn to listen and when you practice listening, people are going to pay more attention to you. You're going to become more interesting. You're going to be more sought after, because here I am talking to you, but you know what my superpower is?
What?
Listening.
That's wonderful. And this is why we are here now. Tell us, we'll listen. We'll listen. We want to listen more than we can talk. Yeah, this has been wonderful. And thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Anthony.
Show we're having some challenges with the connection, but then thank God that we appreciate, we are grateful that we had a great time all through until this point when we're having a challenge. But that's it. We appreciate every single minute. Thank you very much, Jonathan. I've been
Thank
your
you.
host. I've been your host, Anthony Morore. Together with our guest today, Jonathan Rivera, we remind you continue living a life of purpose and fulfillment. And if you've forgotten all that we've talked about today, please rewind this episode and listen to it again. That's about it.
Thank you.
Bye for now.